Welcome to AstroEnergy with astrologer angel Shelley Overton. Hello and welcome to the April 3rd, 2018 edition of the AstroEnergy Astrology Show. My name is Shelley Overton and I'm coming at you from Orlando, Florida. And it is going to be a warm day today. It is, 73 right now, on its way up to 86. And a little bit cloudy. There's some high, fluffy clouds, so that's good. You know, it makes you feel good to see some clouds, I think. Anyway. So, have you been holding up? Have you been doing okay with the current astrological weather? I've been having my moments. I'm not going to kid you. I am definitely having a morning, but yeah, it's it's all affecting how I earn a living right now. So it's kind of stressful. But anyway, I've had a couple conversations with other people who I think are also somewhat at the end of their fuse with what's going on. And I'm sitting here looking at the chart, and I want to tell you, thank you very much for listening to me every week. I just want to extend an amazing thank you and show of appreciation to you because you actually bring me up. Doing this show, I was out doing errands this morning in kind of a pissy mood, and I was talking to my aunt, who might be, I think she's listening now, so little wave to my aunt. And I just told her when I do the show, it cheers me up because I'm helping people and I get into astrology, and that's my happy place, one of them. And so thank you very much for listening every week. You're awesome, and I care about you a great deal. And I'm going to tear up if I don't start talking about astrology. So thank you so much. Looking over here at the chart, it's not hard to see why it's been so stressful because here in Orlando, we have a 14-degree Gemini rising and no planets going through the first quadrant, first through the third, and no planets through the second two houses, which are the fifth and the fourth. But the moon, of course, is conjunct Jupiter in the sky right now in Scorpio, which is, I just laugh because it's triggered my moon tune conjunction in my first house. But it's Moon Jupiter, so deep psychological issues coming out. And that's what it is. And it can relate to mom. And wherever it falls in your chart, it's going to relate to that part of your life. So when we talk to our callers, I will tell you what part of your chart that falls in, and we can discuss it because you're probably having some emotional energy going on there and maybe just want to throw a tantrum, which we'll talk about that in a minute too. Anyway, we've got a sextile between Jupiter, Moon, and the Saturn energy in Capricorn. So this week we already had the conjunction of Mars and Saturn, and not in Saturn. That was at 11:44 Monday. So yesterday, no wonder yesterday was so stressful because we had Mars and Saturn conjunct. And what does that mean? Mars is action and Saturn is restriction and structure. So Mars, being the ruler of the house of the zodiac in the first sign, which is Aries, wants to just go and do. Let me just do it. I don't want to have any restrictions. I don't want to have anybody tell me I can't. Let me just do it. So because Aries sign right now has 3 planets in it, they're all squaring its ruler, which is Mars. And the ruler Mars was conjunct Saturn, and that means restriction and also a difficulty against planets in its own sign. So it's not surprising that we feel very frustrated and probably want to throw a tantrum, which I will admit I did this morning just to get it out of my system. And so if you have broken glass or broken appliances or anything in your house that could be broken, that's probably Mars throwing a tantrum. And we also have Pluto in Capricorn at 21 degrees, which directly squares Uranus within 6 degrees. So there they are, like I said before, split apart from their direct square. They won't direct, I didn't say direct. They won't direct, not exact is a more precise. They were exactly squared last year. They're not this year. They're not going to be again in our lifetimes. Well, unless you're like 5, in which case you'll probably see it again. But yeah, they're separating. Venus is now in Taurus. Mercury is retrograde until the 15th and past the, which also happened. Oh, I don't know without looking it up. Let me look here and see if I can quickly find when the two met up, because that wasn't fun either. Okay, well, it's not within the last week. I don't see. Maybe it was recent, like yesterday. Mercury, no, I don't see it off the top of my head. So, they are only within 3 degrees of each other. So, they're still conjunct, but Sun is past Mercury. Mercury is still retrograding, and he is not going to be running into any energy directly. And you know what I'm going to do? Because I know Vesta just moved into Capricorn, which is an asteroid. Vesta rules documents and contracts and keeping of the organization. How do I say this? Organizational keeping of the documents and the and things like that. So Vesta, and I've said this before, can be a stickler. And wherever you have Vesta in your chart is where you have a woman who can be difficult. That's the nice way to put it. It wasn't the word that went through my head, but it's the nice way to put it. So that means that in Capricorn, again, restrictive, structural Capricorn, organizational, traditional, status quo, not wanting to change. Vesta is now the female who controls the structure and wants things to be literal. She wants things to be reliable, and she likes to organize. And she's in your life trying to organize things and make them reliable. Now, if you're not doing that, you're going to hear from this woman, and she will take the form of a physical human being in your life, causing difficulty. So, as if it weren't enough. I mean, honestly, I'm telling you, these planetary positions, we all went through that Pluto square Uranus a year or two ago. I think it was a year ago. To me, it is more difficult because you not only have the big planets, you have the smaller planets all do those signs as well and squaring each other. So to reiterate, Vesta, Saturn, Mars, Pluto are all in Capricorn, squaring Mercury retrograde, Sun, Uranus, and I don't see any others, although Venus just moved into Taurus, and now she is no longer one squaring. She is in trine to Vesta. So this is definitely energy of women. As far as the political stuff and the prostitute and the president, that's probably not going to go away soon. And Venus trining Vesta is probably going to, and Venus is also going to be trining Saturn, Mars, and Pluto, because Saturn is authority / government. Mars is males, and Pluto is also government of some sort, like politics and politicians and major change. So we're going to continue to see that story, and it's going to probably shift. I don't know if there's any favor between either one of them, but definitely Venus in an earth sign and Vesta in an earth sign trining are going to put a little bit of power in her corner. So anyway, let's see what else. We have Neptune at 15 degrees squarely in the middle of that sign of Pisces. And so we're going to have the continuation of the dream, trying to understand the dream, the illusion. Actually, right now, I think Neptune is a steadying force, believe it or not. I think Neptune falls kind of between the two signs that are duking it out. And Neptune also is in positive aspect, kind of right between Pluto and Mars in Capricorn. So Venus. Sorry, my mouth isn't working properly today. Neptune is giving more of the fluidity and faith that we need to make it through some of this. So I would say probably faith, even though it's an intangible kind of thing, is really the first thing I would recommend for coping with what's going on. And Neptune very strongly wants us to do that. We also have Chiron at 29 Pisces. So Chiron is going to be moving in to Aries fairly soon, adding to the energy. Honestly, at this point, it's going to be a little ways. It's going to be May 1st when we'll see her in that sign. But or excuse me, Chiron's a guy. Chiron is the wounded healer. Chiron is the energy in your chart where you have the most intense feelings or hurt and wounding in your life, and where you may never totally get past it, but you will learn to cope with it, and you can also help others cope with it. So having Chiron in Pisces right now, literally the last degree of the last sign of the zodiac, about to go into the first sign of the zodiac. She's completing this, or he. Why do I keep calling him a her? I wonder if that's because he he's in Pisces, which is a feminine sign. So Chiron, I would say, because I made that mistake a few times, it means that we are experiencing the feminine wounding right now, and that is emotions, emotionalism, receptivity, and anything feminine that we hold near and dear, anything feminine that we're not necessarily expressing, because Pisces is the sign of the hidden. And just a glance at the clock, it's 11:11. Make a wish. I'm a little distractible today, probably. Not going to kid you. So, so we've got this Neptune here in Orlando. Neptune's at the midheaven. What does it mean to be at the midheaven? It means it's dead center in the sky above your head. And whenever planets fall there in your chart, that is your fate point. It's where the sun shines in your chart. Even if you were born at night, even if it happens at night, it is where you get the most attention and have the most kudos from the public eye. It's also usually the center point of the point where your house of career starts. Looking at this chart, the house of career starts at 27 Aquarius, Neptune's at 15 Pisces. So it's a little bit into the house of career. So if you're wondering how to read that, it would mean that you're really settling into your career and you're influenced by the planet that's midway through that house. So it's settling in, it's feeling like you're fixed in the fixed energy. You're really you're just getting your wheels in motion and really hitting your stride. So let's see what else. Okay, so I'm going to kind of move on because I've discussed the planets and everything, but I want to talk about coping. So I wrote a couple things down, and one of the things for coping, like I said, was faith. And moving back to my little cheat sheet here is movement, is knowing that astrologically nothing sits still. Nothing is stagnant. Nothing is stale. It will all move forward eventually. So you ask, when will that happen? Well, Uranus moves in to a new sign on May 15th, which I've mentioned many shows and talked probably ad nauseum about. But quite honestly, personally, I'm extremely happy for that. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to bring a lot of things to light, and it's going to create tremendous amount of change in our world. It's moving our energy from that fiery, initiating energy, the cardinal energy of Aries, into earthy, fixed Taurus. So that being said, Taurus, being a fixed sign, doesn't want to change, as does any earth sign. They want to dig in and keep things stale and stable and not moving. But Uranus thrives on change. So when that happens, that will absolutely be a demarcation of movement in our world and away from what we're experiencing right now. At the same time, Mercury goes retrograde. Retrograde goes direct in April. So let's see here. April 15th, Mercury will be direct. So that will be also another demarcation of movement in our chart and in the world. And that means that instead of being frustrated, going back over what we've already done, maybe wanting to move forward but can't, now when Mercury goes direct, we will move forward. We're going to revisit what we've gone past already twice when it went direct over 13 through 23. Then it retrograded back to 13. It's going back direct. Or excuse me, I take it back. It goes all the way back to 4 degrees. So I'm sorry. I think I'm confusing it with Jupiter. Jupiter goes back to 13, so I apologize. But yeah, it goes all the way back to 4 degrees of Aries. So when it goes forward for the last time, we're going to go back over those same things, but this time, the final time, is when we culminate what we've been doing, when we really understand it and we move forward with it. So that comes up April 15th. So there's another point when things will shift. Let's see, Mars just moved into Capricorn, but he will move on into Aquarius in May also, literally 2 days after Uranus goes in. So it's going to be so significant. So I guess what I'm saying is, if you're looking for movement as a way of coping, May is going to be your month, because we have Mercury going into Taurus on the 15th, Uranus going into Taurus on the 15th. We have I'm looking at the chart here. Mars going into Aquarius on the 17th. And basically, planets are shifting signs, shifting directions, and everything's going to be different. So that's another thing we can use to cope. And honestly, that's the one that I use a lot, is just knowing that I'm really dealing with the fallout of what's going on astrologically. And as much as I do look to spirit for help and guidance, I do, and I have my Buddhist prayers, and I do that. But knowing that the planets absolutely make physical, tangible changes in my world, kind of my Virgo way of knowing that it's going to be all right, that things will change, and they do change, but they change good, they change bad, they change back. It's life. So if you know what's going on in your chart, then it can help you cope. So that's one thing. And then you can have a tantrum, which actually expels and expresses the energy that builds up. And also you could cry, which is a good cleansing tool. So if you haven't had a good cry lately, I would recommend that. It really does quickly purge a lot of old energy out of your system. Now, another thing you may not have thought of, and that is cutting your hair. And it's something that I used to do a lot as a young adult. In my 20s, I used to have short hair almost all of my 20s. And then I started growing my hair out in my 30s, and it's been probably beyond shoulder length for most of my adult life after that. And occasionally I'll cut it short, and when I do, I feel so empowered. I feel really strong, and part of that is energetically. When your hair gets long, if you think about it, your body is creating the hair follicles. And if you pull your hair out, which I'm doing now, I'm pulling my hair straight out from my face, it's about 8 inches long. That your hair grows half an inch, half an inch a month, I think. So in 6 months, you've grown 3 inches of hair. So in a year, your hair's grown 6 inches. So I look at my hair, I've got 8 inches. 6 of that is a year-old hair. I've had this for a year. So whatever was going on in my life is actually imprinted into those hair follicles. That's why when they take drug tests, they can find out what you've done, because it's actually in the hair follicle cells. So when you cut your hair, you actually get rid of the energy of the past year. So I do have a strong drive right now with Aries energy. You are looking for the desire to cut your hair. I don't think it's any surprise that the woman who came out of the whole Parkland shooting as the icon is pretty much bald or shaved head, because that's an empowering energy. You've cut off all the energy that is old and dated. Now, by the same token, on the other side, Native Americans cut their hair because each of the hairs is like an intent to spirit. And I do believe that. I believe that it enhances our emotional life and what we get. And because of that, it can also bog you down. Like I said, you're carrying that emotional energy around in your hair. So if you want to cut your hair, you could probably take a salt bath or put salt in your shower, because it will also cleanse emotional and spiritual energy out of your life and your hair. But anyway, it is a good way to change your world. If you want to do something physical and tangible and real to make you feel better, that's one thing you can do. So, yeah, I think the main things I use in my world to ground and turn myself around are energy clearing and grounding, which I just mentioned. And that would also be like sending roots down through your feet in the ground, sending all the negative energy down with it. And I'm doing it as we're speaking. Just send all the negativity down and pull up happiness and joy and enlightenment and whatever you can think of. Just do it in your mind's eye, because believe it or not, that actually does it. So that will help cleanse some of the harsher energies. You can go out and put yourself in an environment that is supportive to your energy. I do that as well. I went out to the mall, which I don't do often because, money can go up and down and be tight. And so I don't always go out and do that because it's enticing to me. But getting new inspiration from stores or people being around or whatever, that can actually change your mood. Listening to music can change your mood. I live in Orlando, and of course the other side of town is the happiest place on earth, Magic Kingdom. So once in a while I go over there, go to the resort area. I don't always have to go into the parks because the whole resort area, quite honestly, has a lot of the same energy. It sells all the products they have in the park, and you can go over to that area, and it kind of feels like going to Disney because you still have all that wonderful vacation energy. Going on a vacation, going on a weekend day trip or even a staycation, and just find the place that makes you happy. I mean, I'm just thinking of all the things. My aunt was trying to help me with that today, and I want to thank her for that. But really just thinking about the things that do make you happy and then doing them can really help you. Like for me, I'm going to go this week to an art gallery on the other side of town that I have been to one time before, but I've been thinking about going out and trying to find some galleries to show my artwork in. And being a home entrepreneur, which you may be as well, it will really help to get out of the house. I find that the energy gets a little stale in here. Opening the windows moves it through. Saging the house can move energy. Changing the format, which is also good feng shui, can help change energy. Letting light in. Light can cleanse your house. I actually know someone who keeps the house fairly closed up, and I go over there and I'm like, why is the house so dark all the time? I mean, to me, I can't really survive without light coming in. I have a sunroof in my car and it feels so good. So anyway, any of these types of things can really help clear and shift energy. Talk to a friend who you know is cheerful, or even one who just listens to you and you can get it out. Because if we our own thoughts, we're going to go straight to the most difficult scenario. And that's not good for right now. Right now, quite honestly, it is challenging. And it's going to be challenging. I mean, definitely with all the Aries, all the Capricorn, is going to be challenging. When the planets, the quicker moving planets, right now we have Mercury in Aries. When Mercury goes direct in April and then Sun goes into Taurus late April, you're going to feel it. You're going to be much better. And oh my gosh, I just remembered I forgot to wish a friend. No, I take it back. I thought I forgot a birthday, but I didn't. So many birthdays this time of year. Have you noticed that? And also, I think Aries, people with Aries birthdays tend to celebrate for a long time. I've noticed that it goes on 1 or 2 weeks at a time. I know it's my birthday month, and it goes on and on. Anyway, yeah, I hope that helps with anything you've been going through. Definitely talk to a friend, talk to a family member. Don't hold it in. Don't keep it to yourself. And I know it's difficult sometimes. If you're depressed and you go in your room and you just want to stay in bed, that can actually help you. Taking naps connect you with spirit and can also cleanse you through sleep. So, sometimes sleep is necessary to get over depression. I know when you're depressed, you sleep more. And I think that there's a reason for that. I think it's part of the body's natural way of clearing out some of the energy. But don't just stay around and feel bad and mopey when you wake up. Get out and be around people, be around animals. If you're an animal lover, go to a pet store, check out the animals there. My daughter just got a hamster, and her father moved to another state this past weekend. So she wanted a hamster, and I'm like, well, it's probably going to make her feel better for that move. So I let her get it. And, she's been doing really well so far, but it's only been a week. So we'll see how it goes. So there you go. That's what I have to say about calling. And I want to tell you, if you would like a reading, if you've called in and don't press 1, 1 is what tells me that you would like to have a reading. And I've got some people waiting, but I could probably do more. I've got a lot of people listening. So if you are interested in getting a reading, press 1 on your keypad so I know you do. And then we will come back after a break here. So I think I'm going to play the song because I just need it today. So enjoy.
Shall rise with the sun, spend our time as one. Now there is no sin in anything, it's amazing. I love life, I hope you do too, 'cause I love everything. It's all amazing. I
I'm sorry, but damn, that's a good song. That song made me feel so much better. I love that. It's called Amazing by One Eskimo, and I'm posting it to my Astrologer Angel Facebook page right now. It's a phenomenal song, and it gets me going every time. My name is Shelley Overton. I'm an astrologer in Orlando, Florida. I want to thank you for stopping by today because you're amazing. And if you would like to get a reading from me, I would love to do a reading for you one-on-one and go all the way through your chart. We go around the whole thing. I tell you everything that's going on in your natal chart and what influences are happening currently. It's a very thorough reading, so much so that I record it every time and I send it to you within 24 hours so you have it to listen to over and over. I did a reading recently and it was a long reading. I went way over and I split it into two and I sent it to the client and she said that she was listening to it and missed a lot of stuff in the live reading and that she was gleaning a lot more from the recording. So it's a really good value for the money. But if you only want a small reading, I do that too. And you can get it at astrologerangel.com. And if you want to support me somehow, also in addition to that, you can donate at my Patreon page, patreon.com/astrologerangel. Anyway, we're going to take calls now and see what everybody's doing. How are you?
Hi. How you doing?
I'm good. Who's this?
My name is April from Detroit.
Hi, April.
Ron Roberts' sister.
Oh, my gosh. Hi.
She said, oh, my God.
Yeah, that's so awesome. I'm glad he got you to call. Hi.
Yeah.
So, what can I do for you? Give me your birthday first. Just tell me your birthday information, and then we'll see what we got.
10/28/68, 5:30 in the morning.
Okay, 1968 and 5:30 a.m. You said?
Yes.
Okay, in Detroit. In Detroit.
Yes.
Okay. All right. What can I do for you today?
I've been to the doctor and I was diagnosed with stage 2 breast cancer.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
And it said 1, and then they seen it on the lymph node, and they said 2.
Okay.
But he told me to call and see what's going on with me.
Okay. Well, let me just double check that I've got everything here. Yes, I do. So, I was talking about Chiron. Chiron is a wounding in that you're actually exactly at your Chiron return. You have a 29-degree Chiron, which is the asteroid of, your wounding. So this is a past life issue. And it's in your house of health. That's why I'm mentioning it, because you have a Libra rising, 16-degree Libra rising. And that means that you want balance in your life. You're all about balance. The other thing is you have Mercury exactly on your rising sign. That means when you were born, if you look to the eastern horizon, Mercury, the planet Mercury, was coming up, okay? Right now, Mercury is exactly opposite Mercury when you were born, okay? So Mercury rules the house of health. And so when I look, and I have to tell you, I'm not a doctor, so I can't, I'm not diagnosing. I'm just telling you what I see astrologically. And what I see when I give readings around medical issues is what energetic issues are you dealing with that may have brought about dis-ease in your life that could contribute to that. So breast cancer in astrology, the breasts are ruled by, I would assign Gemini and Cancer, the signs of Gemini and Cancer to the breast, because that's the area that are covered. The lungs are usually Gemini, and then the breasts can be Cancer because mom and the mammaries are the breasts, and that's contributing to nurturing of life. So definitely mother issues can contribute in breast cancer. You have the sign of the mother, which is the moon, the planet, or quote planet, it's actually a light, in Aquarius, and that's in the house of home and family. So when I see a moon in Aquarius, it means there's a detachment from mom or a disconnect from mom in the home environment. And that may mean mom was removed or you were removed from mom. Like, in other words, emotionally, there was like a distance and you didn't really resonate.
She passed away when I was 4.
So that's what that is right there.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's interesting because your moon's at 3 degrees and 55 minutes. So
Mm.
the time they put you down for birth, like it quite literally could have been a couple minutes later. Like, well, you said 5:30, so that's rounded off. So you may have been born like 5:35 or 40,
Mhm.
which would probably put the moon at 4 degrees, and that's when you lost your mom. So that's how astrology works. So, when you look at a chart, you're like, usually something like that would be, oh, you lost your mom at 4, and the planet or that significator is at 4. So that's really interesting. Having what's going on transit wise right now is also contributing to this coming out in your life, in your environment. So you're becoming aware of it. And
Mhm.
yeah, the mom issues are definitely connected to any part of the body that is in that realm. Like, so your moon is in Cancer, in the house of Cancer. I mean, excuse me, your moon is in the house of Cancer. It isn't always that way. So that's mom energy. And that's where I would look for that particular issue. And then, so there's some deep issues coming up with today with Jupiter and the moon. And that's the deep psychology of it. And the fact that you have Jupiter conjunct the moon going in your house of the body, which is the second house. It's how we come into this world and start to really learn about our bodies and the physicality of life on Earth. Moon Jupiter. Jupiter is the transformational planet joining up with the moon. So again, it's mom issues and it's deep psychology. And it's on your Neptune. And again, Neptune is the 12th house, and you're trying to wrap up some emotional stories around mom. So I don't know how much you've actually challenged the deeper feelings, because Moon in Aquarius, you have Moon in Aquarius. That's not necessarily one that's going to say, yeah, I really want to go over what happened. You're kind of more like, I think you can intellectualize your emotions. You've got
Mhm.
Mars, Pluto, Jupiter, Uranus, South Node, Mercury, all in either air or Virgo. And that's very intellectualizing. And then you have Sun in Scorpio, which is analysis. You do have Neptune in Scorpio also, which gives you a really deep um, empathy for people. And you're really strongly connected. Like, you may take on other people's stuff very easily. And I would say that could also contribute to what you're dealing with, is that you take on the emotions of other people around you. You may not even
Mhm.
know you're doing it.
Mhm.
So let's see what else. Is there any other question you have about it?
He suggested I call, so.
Well, as far as what's going on, Mercury retrograde means that's. I would honestly keep an open mind about the information you're getting, because Mercury traditionally means multiple streams of information. So one may tell you one thing and another tells you another. It's like you said, they said it was stage 1, but it's stage 2. There may be a
Mhm.
change again. You have to just like go, okay, this can change, because Mercury is right. It's within 1 degree of your North Node in that same house of health. The North Node is how you transmute energy or change energy to be positive. You have energy you
Mhm.
bring into this life with the South Node, which is in your house of the subconscious, right above the horizon, which is like right when you came in, that was right there on the horizon. So there was a crossing of energy right there and it's very powerful. And having the
Mhm.
Sun and Mercury hit that point in your chart on the opposite side right now is saying that there's a transformational action that can be taken. But because Mercury is retrograde right now, you're not necessarily able to do it just yet. But I think in 2 weeks, you're going to get a clearer idea of what has to be done, and that action can be taken. And then, of course, Mercury joins natal Saturn. And so there is a possibility of someone coming in who can give you balance for the situation
Mhm.
and also knows what to do. It's going to probably be something um, assertive. So, they're going to probably have a course of action for you to take, I'm sure. But it's definitely right now, until the 15th of April, I would say that the information isn't really gelled yet and that it could change. Okay.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
I also want to encourage you that you have, like I said, Mars, Pluto, Uranus. all in your 12th house. That's tremendous amount of creative visualization ability. So visualize what it is you want your life to be, and then it's all in the sign of Virgo, which is health. It's alternative health and healing, and you have Uranus in Libra there. So it's about balance and understanding a different way of looking at things. So just know that you have tremendous power to change your world through your ability to see it the way you want it. Okay? And trust your gut. Oh my gosh, like don't do anything that you don't feel aligned with. But I think that if you align with it, it's going to do better for you as a means of healing. So, but yeah, just know that there's probably going to be some new information coming your way even after 2 weeks, like when Mercury goes direct in 2 weeks. From then on, you'll start to find out what you need to know. Okay, and it'll start to gel at that point.
Wow, that's where that's where I'm at. Either natural or chemo.
Well, I'm
in my gut stomach. I don't know what.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you right away that if you start getting a lot more greenery in your diet, like smoothies, kale, broccoli are really good. And I mean, again, I'm not a doctor. I'm just giving you the information I know doing herbology as well. It's an interest of mine, and healthy nutritional eating. So look up plants that are good for cancer, because there's so many, like getting a higher alkaline in your body. You want to balance your alkaline versus pH, because too much pH can contribute to cancer. So you want to get alkaline. You want to get alkaline food in your body. You want to pay attention to getting things that actually promote healing of the cells, which would be more green foods like chlorophyll. If you want to look into chlorophyll, again, broccoli, kale, I'm trying to think of what else. Apples. I would add apples not only for flavor, but because, you know, the old adage, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. There's so many vitamins and minerals. I would go organic. And you can look online for a lot of things that can help you with your search for, you know, a healthier way of approaching it. But honestly, if you're not going to physically do anything yet, I would use, even if it's only 2 weeks, I would change my diet completely and go for everything that could possibly be healthy. You know, I would give up the fried foods. I would give up the processed food, the meats, only because, you know, unless it's organic meat, I would definitely go organic in as much as you can. Like, because really, seriously, and vitamin C, thing I would do is I would up vitamin C, like take large quantities. Get up online, look up Dr. Linus Pauling, LINUS PAULING.
Dr. Linus Pauling, look him up.
Yeah, he had
Linus Pauling.
Yeah, and he had a whole series of vitamin C research that talked about health and vitamin C and what it can do for you, and it's tremendous. I mean, I've been taking it. It helps clear up skin issues because it gives your skin what it needs to, you know, like eczema and dermatitis, things like that. It can help with that. But vitamin C is amazing. But also, like health, I'm telling you, if you want health, eat things that give health. You know, don't eat things that are chemical and drag you down. So, you know, in a general sense, but I would hit it hard with that and do your vitamins. Make sure you get all the healthy things you need for yourself. And then, you know, consult your doctor and find out what they see. But, you know, you can even seek out someone who has more an alignment with your thinking and go that way too. But, you know, just know that you're the one who calls the shot, whichever way you go. Okay? And as long as you feel comfortable with it, it's going to affect you better, I think. As long as you agree, and that can include chemo or whatever they want to do, that can include that. But you have to align with it and know that whatever you choose is going to be the best for yourself, and you have to believe that you will get the best result from it when you do that particular healing modality. Okay?
Okay.
And I just wish you the best. All right? Thank you for calling. Tell Vaughn hi. That's wonderful.
Hi, Vaughn. She said hi. He said hello.
Aw, big hug to you both. So
big hug to both of us, she said. Okay. That was very educational. Because he said my house right now was in health.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you've got Sun, Mercury, and Chiron all in your house of health right now.
Mhm.
And it's
Yeah.
opposing all your Virgo and Libra planets. So, yeah.
Okay.
Well, let me know how it
Thank
goes.
you.
Keep in touch. You're welcome. My pleasure. Take care of yourself.
Okay.
Bye. Okay, let's take another call. And it's already quarter to 12. How's that? Okay, 646. Hi, 646.
Hi, how are you today?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing perfect.
Who is this?
My name is Lisa, and I'm calling from New York City.
Oh, my goodness. Okay. Have you called the show before?
You know what? This is my first time getting through, believe it or not.
Oh, my goodness. That's so awesome. Okay. You said
Yeah.
Louisa, like Louisa and Brigida and all the other Von Trapps?
Yes.
Very cool. Okay. So just give me your birthday, place, and time.
Okay, birth date is August 12th.
Okay.
Place is Long Island, New
Oh,
York.
I need the year. I'm sorry. I need your.
Oh,
I hate to do it to you.
71.
Okay. And what time?
And 2:30.
2:30. And you said
Morning.
Long Island. Okay. Great.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay.
2:30.
Wonderful.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Okay. Lovely. Is there a specific town in Long Island or just Long Island?
I'm gonna say Nassau County.
Nassau County. Let me. Oh, Long Island comes up, so we're just going to go with Long Island.
Yes.
So that's all good. All right. So what can for you?
Hello.
Hello. Do you hear me?
Yes, I can hear
Okay.
you.
What can I do for you today?
Oh yeah. So let me see. Should I ask? I'm going to ask about career right now.
Okay.
Just want to see what the planets have because I'm going to be making some career changes between now, summer, and by fall. I just want to see what you pick up.
Yes, you are. Okay. Neptune, the planet Neptune is 2 degrees over your heaven. And I don't know if you heard the beginning of the show when I said Neptune on your midheaven is the sun shining on you. It's career. So
Okay.
Neptune, yeah, it's a very slow moving planet. It goes 1 or 2 degrees a year. So if that gives you an idea, it takes a good long time to go through sign. It's within 2 degrees means so for the last 2 years, you've really been feeling it directly in your career house. And it also means that there's an ideal situation you have that you want to make happen. And because Neptune is in Pisces, it's about faith and it's about envisioning what you want to have happen. And it also is a very subtle energy. It works through emotion and it works through faith in knowing that things can work out, and it works through intuition and connectedness to spirit and to what you like, to your gut instinct. You're like, oh, should I do this? I don't know. And it really wants you. Neptune is there to help us understand the spiritual side of life, and it is the energy that is the opposite of Virgo, and you have Mercury in Virgo and Pluto in Virgo. So it's kind of balancing out all the mental analytical side of your life, and it wants you to really feel your way through the situation in your career. And there's your natal Neptune. Your natal Neptune is in Sagittarius at 0 degree 18 minutes retrograde, and it's in your house of work. So you ideally to travel and be active in your career. You also have a late degree Jupiter, which rules Sagittarius, and that's at late degree Scorpio at 27. So they're very close together, your Jupiter and your Neptune, but they're in 2 separate signs. So the ruler of your Sagittarian Neptune is Jupiter in Scorpio. So your Neptune answers to Jupiter in Scorpio, which wants to be analytical and research, and on an ego level wants to be right, but generally just sees things, and it's okay because Jupiter in Scorpio usually is right. Okay. Yeah, you can be susceptible a little bit to flattery.
Very.
And have to watch out for people telling you something just to get their way.
Exactly,
So,
yes.
yeah, it's really strong in your chart. And in a Jupiter return cycle, you almost had an exact Jupiter at the beginning of the year before Jupiter went retrograde. And then when it went retrograde, it's trying to get you back into your playful side and play with thought, I'm trying to think of what else it is. Honestly, I want to say this is what I got. Play with the truth.
Okay,
It's about
yes.
it's about storytelling. It's
Okay.
about how do you play with like acting and telling a story and drama. You're probably are you? Oh my God, I got chills with that. Are you an actress or drama of any sort?
I
In
did.
plays?
You know what? I'm thinking about going back to acting school. Yes, I
Okay.
had at one point, but I
Okay.
stopped. But I'm
Uh huh.
definitely thinking about starting to,
Yeah.
practicing again,
Yeah.
just to get my feet wet and get my
Uh huh.
adrenaline back up. But I would love to do it.
Yeah. Well, you've got a really good chart for it because the two dramatic signs of the zodiac, and possibly three, Gemini can be dramatic, I think, but
Mm-hmm.
Leo is the king of it's royalty, it's drama, it's acting, it rules the thespian, and
Mm-hmm.
then Scorpio because it's about black and white and contrast. So the
Mm-hmm.
Scorpio energy really understands how to ramp up drama in through contrast and because you have Jupiter and Scorpio in the fifth house, which is ruled naturally by Leo, you are
Mm-hmm.
just on steroids for that dramatic Leo acting bug. Now, that being said, you have Neptune, which rules film, at your midheaven now. So if you did get back into acting, I would like to think that you might even be able to get into films if you really wanted to. And that's kind of a long
Okay.
term thing. Yeah. It's
Uh-huh.
not short term. Got chills with that too. So I would highly recommend that you consider getting back into it if you want to take a couple classes. And I wouldn't even put it like out of the realm to get an agent if you wanted to do
Okay.
that.
All right.
And with Saturn in your house of partnership right now, there could be something going on. If you're already married, there may be a shift in the structure of how that relationship works. And if
Yay.
not, then there's potential for someone else coming in and new love on the horizon as well. So,
Oh yes, 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 yes. I love it. I'm single right now, so
yeah,
I'm looking, but not. I'm looking for the right person. Let's just see. Let's just say
good. This
yes.
is what I would tell you. I would tell you that there's probably someone coming in, and this is true for a lot of people. When Uranus goes into Taurus, May 15th, that's going to trigger romance, but it's also very quick. Like, oh, you're like everything you wanted, and then it burns out quickly. So it's kind of, not a stable romantic influx,
Mm,
but it
yeah, I
is
wouldn't get
there.
involved.
If you
Mhm.
want to have a cute little fling, that's definitely the time for it. But there's also the energy when Sun and Mercury get into Taurus later in April. That could
Mhm.
also bring in somebody. Uranus will go retrograde, which will also pull the energy back, which might be a more stable energy. If you wait till Uranus is retrograde, that can help if you meet
Mhm.
someone during that time. But then also Uranus goes back into Aries. There's going to be some sexy sex energy going on with that, like there is now.
Mhm.
Uranus is in Aries right now, and then he'll go back in later in the year, at the very end of the year, back into Taurus and stay there for the next 80. Well, he won't get back into Aries for 80 years, but he'll be in Taurus for like the next
Ah.
decade. So it'll be good.
Okay.
Like, yeah, Taurus rules coupling. It's the Venus energy, which rules Taurus. So you're going to have that in positive aspect to Saturn in your chart in the house of marriage. So there is a lot of potential for you coming in with a more tangible thing, but just be cautious around like, is this, get the sense of it, you're just like wowed by their presence, and then it's like an ideal thing, but then all of a sudden he disappears quickly because that's that kind of energy. So you just have to find someone who has a
Mm-mm.
lot more earth energy in their chart
Yeah,
if you want them to stick
I'm
around.
very picky. Yes, yes, I'm
Yeah,
very
so good
picky.
for you.
I haven't had a boyfriend in, oh my gosh, years. So I am
Well,
extremely picky. It's,
and the
and
other thing,
mhm.
I've got chills. Let me tell you, you've got Mars in Aquarius, but it falls in your house of commitment. So Mars in Aquarius in the house of commitment, and Uranus, the ruler of Aquarius, going into Taurus, which is coupling. You might actually find someone through having that charisma that I know you have. So
Oh, cool.
there's definitely, and for you, you could have fun with that playful energy of the Aquarius Leo. Dynamic, that polarity could be really a fun
Good.
energy for you and could contribute
Really?
to having a longer term relationship. So check back in if you see someone that you are interested in, look in their charts, okay?
Okay, definitely. I won't make a move. Okay.
Oh, wonderful.
I
I
might
love
change
Leo.
it. Okay, I might just change telephone numbers or email, but that's how far it's going to stop right there.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool. All
All
right.
right.
Well, wonderful.
Thank you.
Thanks for the call. Take care.
You too. Bye
Bye.
bye.
Thanks. Okay. Let's go to 651. Hi, 651. How are you?
Hi, Shelley. This is Linda.
Hi, Linda. What's up?
So, yeah, I guess I'm in a good place today. It feels like it's been like months
Awesome.
since I've been there.
Yeah, that's lovely.
Yes, it is. And so, I'd like a general reading. And what were you talking about in the beginning? About checking for something in the first and second house or something?
Yeah, I was talking about the Jupiter-Moon conjunction, so I was going to look at where that falls in your chart. And for you, it falls up in your house of education, right close to the cusp. Education.
Did you say patience?
I said education.
Oh,
Can you hear me?
education.
Yeah,
Okay.
education.
Okay.
It's growth, spirituality, travel, education, like music or musicians, comedy, things that are playful, fun, and expressive. And so, but it's also psychology. So if you're feeling like wanting to bring up about this is potential for and I hate bringing this up, but Jupiter is squaring your natal Pluto, and it's in the sign that Pluto rules, which tells me that there's a potential for some kind of fraud coming in. Like, that's always my angle. Like, I personally have experienced this. I've seen it in other people's lives when I see planets at late degree Scorpio squaring late degree Leo. And so you've got to be more cautious about what people tell you and if you believe them or not. If you're in a relationship, you might want to have your spidey sense up, because right now is a potential for not getting the true story. Okay. And it falls, your Pluto's in the house of marriage and partnership. So if you have a partner, it's just a time where you might have to be extra cautious and extra diligent about making sure you have the truth coming out of that situation, because Jupiter in Scorpio is going to be a little more playful, and it's going to play with what is integrity, because integrity is the realm of Scorpio. It's about are you in your integrity? Okay, and so that's part of the story that you need to understand right now. Yeah, and then it's Jupiter's retrograde, so of course he's going to act a little bit more like Saturn, and that means you're going to have to really I'm just telling it like I'm hearing it in my head. I have a come to Jesus moment about what you want to do, where you want to be. Because Jupiter through your house, Jupiter in the ninth house is wanting to move somewhere for your own mental stability. And also, as Jupiter approaches your midheaven, it's meaning that shift can also affect your career and bring in a situation you want to expand on as Jupiter moves into Sagittarius at the end of this year in November. So Jupiter into your career house at the end of the year will mean that there's a very strong likelihood that you have a job or career change that can take you to another place. So is that something that you've been thinking about or maybe wanting?
Oh, I don't know. I'm kind of, just at loose ends with it career-wise. I mean, I'm an energy healer and a holistic lifestyle coach, and my love certainly goes out to that first caller.
Oh, yeah.
Excuse me. And that's pretty. I'm pretty. I'm just having a really heck of a time. Getting marketed, and creating the business side of things, to the marketing.
Okay.
And
so let me address that. Let me address that real
quick. What?
Okay.
It's like,
so
that's not my forte. I'm the healer.
Okay, well,
I'm not the business
I'll tell you
person.
Let me tell you two things because I'm running out of time. I got to get this out. First off, Aries is self-promotion. You have Mercury, which is communication, in the sign of self-promotion, retrograde. And at the same time, squaring the planets in the tangible side of your career, which is the 11th, how your career manifests monetarily. And Capricorn, Saturn, Mars are difficult. Like I said at the beginning of the show, Mars is taking action, Saturn wants to restrict action and wants you to own this. So it is about the structure, and I would honestly, if I don't have a lot of time to expand more on this, I would say for you the best thing right now would probably be find someone who can help you. And Mars is in Capricorn. It's in a kind of a negative aspect to your moon in Leo, which is also a very wonderful, like promotional energy, like getting yourself out there and being in the spotlight. So having a conjunct Mars in Capricorn and a square to Mercury in Aries, it's a difficult time for getting attention. But the fact that Mars and Saturn get Capricorn in the 11th house tell me you need to find someone. It could be online. You need a company or a person that can do that for you because you don't want to. And your chart's
right.
saying
I need someone
to
to
do that.
promote me and do the business
Yes.
marketing side of things. I need a partner.
Yes. Find someone you trust. Find someone who can do that for you, even if, for whatever your budget is, that's what you need to do. Okay?
All right. Thank you so much. This was enlightening. I just feel so good to be out of the cave.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, just give it. July is good for Jupiter going direct, so aim for July.
Okay.
Let me just double check my date here. I'll give you the date. So Jupiter goes direct close to the 11th. It'll be direct on the 11th. So if you plan for after that things are going to start to get a little bit better, when Jupiter at your midheaven, he'll get closer and closer again to go into your house of career, and Jupiter's expansion and its travel, and it's going to be fun, and it's going to be the time next year is going to be an amazing time for you. So don't worry. And the other thing I didn't get to tell you, which I wanted to tell you, which came to me while I was doing the reading, is think about doing like a workshop at a hotel somewhere and promote it. Get someone online to promote it. And I will tell you my own secrets. I use Evensi, EVENSI.com. And that will get you can set up your event. You can sell tickets through that site. You can connect it to a PayPal account. It'll help you if you want to do it yourself. But if you want to have somebody else do it, they can design the thing, promote it. And if you're looking for a partner, I don't know. I mean, give me a shout out offline if you want, because I'm kind of looking for someone else too, because I think it's just really a great idea to coordinate an event with someone. Yeah.
Yeah, you mean like with energy healers and stuff like that?
Yeah, because, I wanted to do seminars, and I was going to, and actually, ironically, the lady I'm going to do with her birthday is today, and she's a wonderful person too, but it just didn't work out. We were going to go to a seminar on the coast of Florida and give this whole thing. She would do her thing, I would do mine, and it was going to be really wonderful. So, I think you should also consider. Okay?
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Many blessings.
Good luck to you. Hey, same to you. Thank you. Take care. All right. That's the end of the show today. I'm excited that you kind of put me in a better state of mind. Thank you so much. And we'll see you next week with more fun astrology to talk about. Take care. Bye. Thanks for stopping by AstroEnergy this week. If you would like to get a hold of Shelley Overton, you can get her at astrologerangel.com, on Facebook at AstroEnergy or Astrologer Angel. The music was provided by Kevin MacLeod at incompetech.com, with additional music by Ironwood Rain. Check them out on the net at ironwoodrain.com. To subscribe, please click the picture of Shelley on the right or the red button below.